Hi everyone, very good morning to all of you. I'm myself Danish Mohammed from Engineering Design IIT Madras and also a coordinator of Tensors. And Tensors is a non-profit organization formed by the students of IIT Madras aiming to help the society. And we take several social initiatives and organize social campaigns throughout the year. And we also conduct many social events like helping the students of JE and like counseling for JOSA. So today we are conducting the webinar series for engineering design department, and we have a very kind and calm speaker with us. He's Shafeef Omar, and he is currently he is a pass out of engineering design department and currently working as a research assistant at IIC Bangalore in the field of robotics and AI or continual learning for robotic systems. Over to you, Shafeef.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So, Danish has already given an introduction of who I am. So, I am a pass out of engineering research design department. I just passed out last year, not last year, this year, and I intend to apply for a PhD in the coming year next year. So, the meanwhile, I am a research assistant at IIC Bangalore doing my research in AI and robotics. So, to give you a brief about engineering design department, ED, we call it short for as ED. So ED basically offers multidisciplinary expertise. So we don't just focus on one specific aspect like mechanical engineering or electrical engineering. So what other department focuses is more on a multidisciplinary aspect of it. So when you come across product development and things like that, we need people who are expertise we need who people who have expertise in multiple fields so that all the fields all the components required for a product it works efficiently. So that's where ED comes in place. So not just electrical. So a simple example, if you're saying if you need a smartphone, it's not just computer science that's required for making this. So there's a lot of internal PCB design, circuit designs, and then software development, app development. So it's just a basic idea. There are a lot of things, not just one single, not just computer science engineers get to do development of mobile phones. The point is there are lots of components involved. So engineering design gives that sort of multidisciplinary background. So coming to our first year, almost all the departments have similar courses like basic sciences and basic engineering courses. So we also have in our department, in the first year, we have the first sem and the second sem. In each of them, we have one proper design course. So it will be like, it's not very difficult. It's a fun course basically, but it involves a bit of art and perspective and things like that. But there's just one course which isn't entirely engineering, you could say, but it is a fun course. Then coming to the second year, we also have a product lab in which we actually get to dissect different products and get to understand how different products work in it. So during my time, we had cars carburetor, we had to dissect it. Then we also had mixers, how mixers, the internal products of mixers, how each and every aspect of it works, the mechanical components, the electrical components, how they all work in sync. And yeah, there were around 10 products, and each week each team would work on a product. So, and then second year also we get to build basic engineering engineering understanding of it. We are still not going deep into any of the subjects, and it's from third year on we get to, I think almost all the departments start going deep into their subjects. So we also have lots of robotics based courses. So if you're into automobile engineering, so by the end of second year, you also need to choose your specialization, your dual degree specialization. And engineering design department only provides dual degree. We don't have a BTech program. So by the end of second year, you have multiple options. So two of them which are offered by our department itself is automobile engineering, and the other one is biomedical engineering. And then we also, not just we, all the department students, across the institute, everyone has the option to opt for a interdisciplinary dual degree program. So that is where you can opt for a dual degree specialization in either data science or robotics, and there are a couple more dual degree programs. I think we'll have further discussions upon that, speakers who who can talk about that later. So one such interesting one is robotics. If anyone is interested in robotics, can opt for that. And most of the robotics courses are actually offered by our own department itself, and then a couple from computer science department. We have because robotics and AI go well together, so there is a couple of AI courses, computer vision courses, and things like that, which are offered by the computer science department. And then we also have lots of in our department, so lots of robotic courses, field and service robotics. Then aero department also offers drone-based robotics courses. So that is the case for IDDP, interdisciplinary dual degree program, if you opt for robotics. So I was personally interested in robotics, which is why I took most of my electives that I chose was for robotics. So it is up to you what you want to choose. Each person has different interests, so you could opt for automobile or biomedical or things like that. And then coming to a fourth year, we also have, our department also offers what can you say, a 6-month internship. So in the 6-month internship, you actually get to work in a company where you can do your internship and get a real hand exposure. So my internship, I did it at Siemens, I'm sorry. So during my internship at Siemens, I was working on a natural language and autonomous natural language translation, autonomous vehicles navigation. That it is a bit complex, but I don't want to explain my project right now. So you'll get to, so my Siemens project was completely based on AI because that is what I was interested in, AI and robotics. So you will also have the opportunity to choose what you would like to do. It's not like they give you some random job. It would be based on your interest, what you want to do. And I think that is what everyone should focus during their time in institute, to understand what you really want to do instead of chasing the crowd, because a lot of people, especially in institute, you'll find a lot of people doing lots of different stuff. A lot of people running towards AI, a lot of people running towards software development. So instead, you should all start focusing on what you really want. And then in the final year, we also have our master's thesis. So during this master's thesis, you will be assigned a prof, or you could also find multiple profs to guide you. And depending on the project of your interest, or if if a professor has a good project that you really like to go forward with, you can start working under him. There is also an option to do master thesis from abroad. So if you can get a professor to approve you as a student from a foreign university, so you can also do a master's thesis in collaboration with that foreign professor with you. So yeah, there were a couple of students who did that from my year. My year, it was more particularly difficult because of the COVID situation, but coming years, it shouldn't be much of a big hurdle if you really want to do something like that. And then you would also have the option to go for research internships. So if anyone is interested in higher studies, I would suggest you to consider this. So one of the important aspects of applying for higher studies is to do research projects, and if possible to have research output from it, like a publication or a patent or a paper. So that really matters if you're going for higher studies. So one thing you can start for this is start working under a prof, try to do research under his guidance from institute itself, from a field of interest. So the prof need not be in engineering design itself, it's up to you. So I think there's a level of autonomy that you get once you enter the institute. The department actually doesn't matter a lot. You can find a prof of your liking that you want to work under. So you must be able to approach him first. You must talk with him first. But so most people do a course under him first, and then they score good grades, and that's how they get a prof to work. They get a prof. So you can start like that. Someone who's interested in higher studies could start doing a research project from the institute itself. And then during the vacations, like the winter or summer vacations, you will also try a research internship. Yeah, a research internship basically you'll have to send a lot of emails to a lot of foreign professors who are willing to accept you, and if you get accepted, you get to go abroad and work under the guidance, and that would be a great experience too. And then everyone also has the opportunity to go for an exchange semester. If anyone is interested, you can spend an entire semester in a foreign university. So it's not specific to engineering design, it's available for all the departments. So if anyone is interested in that, you could try that as well. So that's pretty much about ED, I guess. So if anyone has anything further to ask about engineering design or anything specific, we'll start taking questions.
Yeah, you can post your queries in the chat and like we will ask. So there is a query like from Nachikit Gandhi. If you are learning about elec, mech, aero, is it impossible for us to get a real deep understanding of any of them, right? So is the understanding which we get good enough to make a product?
So, Nachiket, what I feel is by the time you finish, I mean, how can I put this properly? It's not like you won't get that knowledge, but you get to understand different aspects of it. So so no one stops you from going in depth. Even if you want to go in depth in a particular field, all of us have electives. So that's what electives are for. So we have 7 to 8 electives. I'm not really sure. Maybe Danish can confirm that. So we have lots of electives which are spread across multiple semesters. So you can use those electives as an opportunity to dive in deep into what any of them that you really like to do. So that's what makes our department much more flexible. So you get to you get to experience lots of different sections of it, and then if you really want to go deep, you can go deep into maybe a particular topic or multiple particular topics depending on your elective choice. Yeah, so I hope I cleared that.
Yeah, we even do have many electives so that we can go in any stream which we wish to. So another query is like, what do the majority of students end up doing after completing this course?
So stu- students, so the thing is, in not just in our department, throughout our institute, most people there are multiple. There are, let me think. There are, I think, major three kinds of career options that people pursue. One is a core job, the other one is a non-core job, and the other one is research related. So by core job, what I mean is a job that is pertaining to the department. So I'm speaking in general throughout all the departments, not just engineering design. So by core job, I mean jobs that are pertaining to department. So if I'm from an engineering design department, I go for, so if I had an automobile specialization, MTech specialization, I would go to companies like Bosch or Caterpillar, or there are even lots of other companies like Pirel, Thai companies and things like that. That is based on my automobile specialization. And biomedical also, there are a couple of other options. And by non-core, what I mean is jobs that are not pertaining to the department, and that by not pertaining specific to the department, there are a couple of that itself is broad basically. So you have IT, not IT, computer science jobs, software developer jobs, analyst jobs, and things like that. And that is by far the most common throughout the institute. So most people they end up going for non-core jobs, not just in engineering design, but throughout the institute because non-core jobs are more highly paid because it's like software development, analysts, and things like that. So during the institute, people tend to do lots of internships and lots of extra work to get these kind of experiences done, and they go for non-core placements like that. And the third option is higher studies. So if you're going for, so I studied robotics and my specialization was robotics in IIT Madras. So what I'm trying to do is for going for higher studies in robotics and AI. So so the question was, so these are the three career options. So yeah, so most of the students in my batch, most of them that I know have gone for non-core jobs, and then those that have gone for core jobs include those that have gone for Caterpillar. Then one of them has gone to JK Tires, and then one of them has gone for higher studies at CMU, and then there are also people at Ubisoft game development, which is a non-core basically. And there are still a lot of other options. So no, there is no restriction to what job opportunities. You basically have a lot of options. You can choose from what is your liking, but the important point is you must choose what you like throughout NCT. So just because you took engineering design and you didn't like what is it doesn't mean that your options are limited. So yeah, if engineering design also has a bit of development involved, programming involved, especially in our mechatronics courses and things like that. We work with Arduino and things like that, and it's got a C interface shell in it. Yeah. So I hope I cleared that.
Yeah. So other doubt is like, yeah, what are the core subjects that are taught in this course? And the continues like which department takes this course? I would like to clarify that like engineering design is like itself a department. So yeah, you can answer the first part. Shafeef.
Okay. So I have the curriculum here. So yeah. So in the first year we also have some CAD based courses. CAD is basically designing products and things like that. And then in the second year, we also have lots of proper mechanical courses like based on thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, control systems. Control systems are very important. And then design of mechanical systems and things like that. Then if you're going for, so these up to your second year, most of the courses would be common throughout everyone in the department. That's when you get to you start to choose your specialization. So if you're interested in automobile, that's when more core subjects would be taught. So if you're going for, let's say, automobile, you'll get courses like vehicle dynamics, structure and component design of vehicle, control of automotive systems, fundamentals of automotive systems, and things like that. But then if you go for biomedical there, then that's where you get to choose lots of biomedical based courses, deep learning and medical image analysis and things like that. So as I said, core subjects get mostly taught from third year, and that's when you get to choose what you would like. Then there are elective options as well. Electives also help you with it. So that shouldn't be a problem. So if you need more clarity upon what exactly the courses are being taught, I will share a link to the curriculum, which is basically available in our department website itself. So it's there in the chat box.
Okay.
So
So yeah,
so this
so
is the curriculum for automotive engineering, if I'm not wrong. But from the department website ed.iitm.ac.in, you would also be able to get the rest of them.
Cool, cool. So there's a query regarding like, is there a good scope for non-core job like software engineering?
Yeah,
And also one more query related to that, like, do core software companies allow ED students for interviews?
yeah, definitely. That's what lots of companies go. So especially companies like Microsoft and all, most of them don't care about what department you're coming from. If you have enough experience, if you have good DSA is basically data structures and algorithms. So one of the major parts of cracking the interviews for software companies involves you to learn data structures and algorithms. So if you're very much efficient, if you're very much well versed with those kind of topics, you definitely, I mean, they won't stop you just because you are from a different department. So what your expertise, what work you have done so far, and all matters most. So by the end of second year and third year, if you are able to do good internships, that will do a good deal. So I like the thing is what I felt is like throughout institute, I mean throughout these 5 years in institute, you also get a lot of free time. So by free time, it's not. I don't say that you can do whatever you want basically. So I used up my time to learn lots of programming and things like that on my own. So we only had one programming course in our first year, but I mean, I'm not saying you should do it, but you could do it. You could also, right now, there are lots of MOOC options, online course options like from Coursera, edX, and things like that. So you can go ahead and learn things on your own if you're interested in things of doing extra and things like that. So that's what makes not our curriculum, throughout the institute, you get a lot of free time. You have a lot of time to work out what you want to do. And then the earlier you work that out, the earlier you can do things that are relevant for it. So in my initial years, I thought I wanted to be a software engineer. So I started learning lots of web development, lots of software development and things like that. And then later on, I changed my mind. I wanted to focus on core, which is robotics. So no one stops you from doing what you want, is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yes. So I don't see any further question. Like, if you have any queries, you can post it in the chat.
Or you can see someone asking about placement statistics. So
Okay.
one thing that I know is that our department is the third most placed department or something like that, right, Danish?
Yes, yes.
Most number of placements, the third most number of placements or things like that. Most percentage of placements or
I
things
have a
like that.
query. Can
So but yeah, sure.
can I had a doubt. Is it a mechanical oriented branch or AI based branch?
So it isn't basically an AI based branch. So that's what I said. We have mechanical based courses, we have electrical based courses, we also have some computer science courses. So the department offers a couple of computer science
So DSA
courses,
is covered in
and also
it. DSA
DSA
you
is
can
not
select
covered
as
in the
elective or
department. No, it is an elective. Yeah.
okay. But as a elective you can take, na? Within the given
Yeah. Yeah.
total credits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Definitely.
if somebody is taking this course, other than mechanical, electrical, whatever subjects he has to study, how many computer science related subjects he can take? Can you please tell
So
about that?
so there is
Because
no
somebody not
restriction.
getting CS in IIT and is going for this branch, whether he can continue in CS or not, that is my query.
Can you repeat the question again?
See, somebody is not, if somebody is not getting computer science in
Yeah.
IIT, and he want to go for CS still and taking this branch. You told that yes, IT companies don't discriminate between this branch and other branches, and they take everybody. But that is different. Is it a CS oriented branch or not?
It
That
is
is my
not a
question.
CS oriented branch. It is
Okay,
not
only.
even mechanical oriented branch also. It's not an electrical oriented branch. So, but
So
uh,
this teaches about machine learning and Python and all.
we have in our department we have a machine learning course. Yes,
Okay,
we just
okay, thank you.
our department offers one machine learning course.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, sure. So someone's been asking for a rough salary. So I think that depends on what kind of job. So as I said, non-core jobs are much more highly paid, and core jobs are not as much paid. So you can find people up to 20 to 30 L and things like that, and also who in non-core jobs. But I think in core, I think you can only expect less than 15 anyway. I personally haven't seen who got placed initially. I mean, obviously after promotions they might improve, but I haven't seen anyone with an initial offer above 15 or something like that.
Okay. And how much time? Like if somebody takes electrical in IIT, people say that they don't get time for studying computer science courses. It's very tough sparing time for Java and other programming languages. I have little knowledge. That's why I'm asking like this. But if somebody doing this course, how much time he gets for doing CS oriented courses?
So if you're doing electrical, I don't think you need. The department itself offers DSA course in Java itself. So I don't think it's necessary for it becomes part of their course itself. But I I started learning programming and things like that in my first year on my own, and I could manage it. So I think it's more of a subjective question. You basically have the time to do it, and if you want to do it, you can actually do it.
Oh, okay.
So it is
Thank
not
you so
as
much for that.
it is not as hectic. So if I could give a comparison, I throughout my college, I think I would only put like 20% of the extra effort that I used to put during my JE training. So it isn't as hectic as JE or things like that. It is much more calm. I mean, you still have more free time.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, another query is like, can you explain about the minor degrees and like double major degrees?
Minus. So I'm not sure about double major degrees. I'm not sure if it exists in our college. I haven't seen anyone at least. So by minor degrees, what you mean is if so the courses they would have already specified which kind of minor degrees are already existing and which courses are required for getting that minors degree. So it could be something like energy systems or things like that, something small. And if you're able to do some 4 or 5 courses from that particular sector, then you will be able to get a minors degree in that. Or it could be even business management also. If you're taking, we also have a DOMS, Department of Management Studies. If you're taking a couple of courses from that department itself, you will also get a minor in business management or things like that. So I don't exactly know how many buckets are there in these, but the basic idea is this: if you want a particular minor in degree in from a particular bucket, you need to do some 4 or 5 courses from that bucket. Yeah, so Jayant is saying that there is only one free elective in the first semester. So that's what I said. In the first 2 years, almost all the departments, not almost all the departments only do uh, basic courses, basic engineering and basic mathematics courses. Once the foundation is developed, only then more specialized electives are chosen. So electives are not general courses like the others that are taught in second years. They are more specific. So yeah, first the foundation is developed and then the rest of the important courses are introduced.
Okay. So another query is like, sir, is it impossible for a middle class student to do MS in CS abroad after studying some non-CS BTech in IIT Madras?
Yeah, definitely. So my classmate Sashank, he is currently about to go to CMU, Carnegie Mellon University, that is in US. He's going there for his masters in robotics. That's what I said. That is in robotics. So that is in the CS department, if I'm not wrong. So there is a senior of mine, another senior of mine who is doing his masters in Oxford, and he is doing that in computer science department. So the requirement for this, if you want to do a CS abroad, if you're from a non-CS BTech background, is that you need to do a couple of courses which are necessary for what you're going for. So if you're going for proper computer science, then you need to have done all your electives in computer science, like DSA. Maybe you could also have AI and things like that. So for me, my topic is basically robotics and AI. So by robotics and AI, my work is mostly AI. So AI application in robotics. So even mine is mostly computer science. So whenever I will be applying for PhD, I would be mostly applying to a computer science department, and not because yeah, it will be mostly for a computer science department, because most of the, if I'm applying for a mechanical department, most of their research would be in mechanical building of robots. And similarly would be the case, similar would be the case maybe in electrical also. But if I'm applying for a computer science, that is where my field is more relevant.
Sir, like
Yeah.
my questions was, should we need more? Will it cost more when we do MS in abroad, sir? Can a middle class student can afford for it?
So you can so if you're exceptional, you can also get scholarships. But if you're not getting scholarships, it's going to be a bit more expensive. So I think that depends on a lot of other factors also. If you're going for a university in US, it's going to be a bit more expensive, a lot more expensive than a lot more expensive. But if you're going to somewhere in Europe, I think in universities in Germany, most of them don't even take tuition fees.
Is it
So it
possible
depends on
to like join a job and after that, after some time, I do MS in CS? Is it
yeah,
possible?
there are plenty of people who do that.
Okay, sir.
That is also an option. So you can make some money, and with that, after doing a job, make some money, and then you can leave. Or you could also get scholarships. So a lot of people try for scholarships. So the major criteria for scholarship is to have good grade, possibly above
Like a
19
CGPA,
P.
if we keep CGPA good, then we can get scholarships, sir.
Yeah,
Get
if you
scholarship.
have good CGPA, not just CGPA, man. CGPA is a major factor, but then your your works, your research projects, and the more you do, the better. You should try to be as exceptional as possible, because you have to consider the rest of the people applying for the scholarships also, right? So you want to also be among the best. So from the point of view of who's selecting you for the scholarship, since the scholarships are limited, you have to be exceptional among them, right?
Okay, sir.
So you must do as much as possible to be exceptional among
Like
them.
this core jobs like in mechanical, electrical or ED, like this, we will get around 15 LPA only, sir.
So I don't think you can. It depends on the job. Maybe the average might be that much, but there are still people who get more than that. Most of my friends actually get more than that.
In core, sir.
Okay, core you asked.
Yes, sir.
Core, I'm not sure.
Okay, sir. It can be less than 15 or around 15.
It can be less than 15.
Even if we have talent in that, talented
I'm
in that.
sorry.
Even if we have more talent in that, then also it is possible to get less than
So
15.
so in my opinion, if you really have interest for higher studies, is would be to apply for high, I mean, if you're really into core, not higher studies, if you're really into core, my advice would be to go for higher studies because there are a lot more opportunity for research and development abroad than compared to India for research. So yeah, if you could, so since by the time you graduate from engineering design, by then you would also get a master's degree, right? So one possible option for you would be to directly apply for a PhD. You can skip the masters if you want.
Okay, sir. But placement will not be as good as non-core, sir. Placement and package. Placement
I'm
and package.
sorry.
Placement and package will not be as good as non-core, sir.
That is generally the trend, yeah.
Okay. Generally, it is the
Non-core
trend, but
placements are much better than core placements.
it in some exceptional cases may be there, sir.
Yeah, in some exceptional cases, they may be.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, so there is like one query from Pratik. Like, actually, so you want to like really compare kind of IIT, different IIT. So we don't encourage that here. So I would like to recommend you to like go to Tensors website, that is tensors.in, and you have like one-on-one counseling sessions, and that you can enroll for that so that you get a better insight from the. Okay. So yeah, I guess okay. So Shafeef, there is a question like, what do you plan to do that you have graduated?
Oh, so I wanted to go for higher studies. So I didn't switch for placements because I want to go for higher studies. So right now I got a good opportunity to do research at IIT Bangalore. So it's a group that I've been following for a while. So they are doing good research. So my intention is to pull off a couple of papers and publication by the end of this year and then apply for a PhD in the next year. So yeah, I will be going abroad. That's what I plan.
Okay. So one thing from we have Sharif is like interdisciplinary dual degree can be chosen by 4A BTech students as well.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you
it
can.
can. So there is an option for, so if so as I told, engineering design doesn't have a BTech option. We already have dual degree option. But if you're from any other department, you can also convert from BTech to dual degree also directly. So it doesn't matter if it is in the interdisciplinary dual degree or not. Everyone has the option. All BTech students have the option for converting to dual degree. But I think it also requires some CG requirement. If I'm not wrong, right, Danish?
Yeah,
It requires some CG requirement. So the ideal case, I would suggest the best thing for you. So in order to get, yeah, my advice would be to maintain above 8 or 8.5 CG. That would help a lot. Especially if you're getting 8.5 CG, I think there would be nothing stopping you from getting what you want in terms of research internships, or I don't know if you want to convert to an interdisciplinary dual degree or whatever you want. So you're able to maintain an 8.5 plus CGPA, then that would be a great thing. So what I would suggest is focus on improving your GPA, but don't just don't just make that your priority, because at the end of the day, if you are applying for an internship at the end of your second year or for third year and things like that, you also need experiences on your CV when you're applying for companies, right? So you need to do something in the meanwhile, like projects or things like that. Projects maybe under professors or things like that. So if people, anyone here is interested in higher studies, I would also recommend, not if you're not, even if you're not interested in higher studies also, you you could also apply for research internship. That is a great opportunity, I guess. So if anyone is interested can go for that.
yeah, okay. So I think it's time for us to close the session. So thank you for everyone for joining, and thank you, special thanks to Shafeef for giving such an insightful knowledge on Department of Engineering Design. Thank you for joining.